Type R or WRX STI? This is going to cause some arguments in the comments. Which of these two performance icons would you be taking home? Time to compare and contrast and come to some sort of conclusion.
Let's talk black and white bits of paper, because we can all understand that, and that's the thing that everyone argues about down at the pub. So this Subaru Impreza WRX STI packs 297 very potent ponies. However, the Honda Civic Type R has 306 of them. Now, Type R enthusiasts, don't get too excited, because the Subaru will get to 62 miles an hour faster, only just. Subaru 0 to 62 in 5.2 seconds, the Honda Civic Type R 5.7, and that is predominantly due to this car's all-wheel drive. Launch it just right, it hooks up, you've got the traction, boom, off you go down the road. However, further down that road, the tables are turned once again, with the Subaru topping out at 160 miles an hour and the WTCC inspired Honda Civic Type R going on to 168. When it comes to torque, there's not a lot in it. Type R 400 Newton meters, Subaru 407 Newton meters. I think it's fair to say that we could argue until we were all blue in the face as to which was best on paper. It's all well and good having the bragging rights down at the pub, but what about performance in the real world, when you actually have to use it every single day? Well, the Subaru can come across as a bit cumbersome and very much hard work every time you get into it. The great big heavy gear shift you've got to slam into place and be mindful of what the turbo's doing the whole time, because you can be at a junction and it's not got loads of get up and go until that turbo really gets going. Whilst you have to appreciate that hardcore element of the Subaru, because that's exactly what it's designed to be like, it's sort of like breaking planks of wood with your bare hands, karate chopping them. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you want to do it every day. And with the accessible levels of performance in the Type R, you just start to wonder whether you want to be working so hard all the time. Sometimes when you just want to overtake somebody, or you just want to get out of a junction quickly, then it's the Type R that really is the car you want out of the two. And it's no slouch whenever you've got an open road either. So let's talk interior. If looks externally are subjective, the interior plays a very big role, because this is the thing that you as an owner have to look at day in, day out. Let's start with the Honda Civic Type R. These seats in this Civic Type R are fantastic. They're so bolstered, they're so comfortable. I mean, whenever it comes time to drop a gear and throw it into a corner like so, as the car grips so much, it's nice to have these great big bolsters holding you in place. But then equally, whenever it comes time to settle down on a motorway, as this car actually does, as I've mentioned in the review, it's got this sort of Jekyll and Hyde character to it. We kick it down a gear because, well, why not? Sorry, it's cars like this, you just have to take advantage when there's a bit of an open road. Where were we? Interiors. Yeah, the Subaru is a bit of a letdown in this element. The build quality is okay, I don't feel like anything's going to fall apart, but it's the quality of materials that really does it for me. You know, cheap plastics, this fake carbon fibre effect, it doesn't look very expensive. The display here for radio and everything doesn't have DAB, this car either. The display is just, you know, it's like something off of a microwave, and that's quite disappointing. You know, when you spend 30 grand on a car like this, okay, the Type R is £1,000 more expensive, and then a little bit more if you want the top of the line GT model with all of the toys. This just doesn't feel good enough for its price. Like the Type R, the seats are very good, but in seat wars overall, the Type R does win out. Literally, if you don't believe me, have a seat in a Honda Civic Type R. I think they are possibly one of the best seats in any performance car, let alone just hatchbacks. They're completely adjustable, brilliantly comfortable. there's still good space in the Subaru as well. I mean, headroom is a slight issue with the more sloping roofline, but overall there's plenty of space for people in the back. The boot is also good. You know, so in terms of practicality, both cars tick the box there. It's just the interior for me really does let it down. I would be a bit disappointed if I had to get into this every single day. Sticking with the Subaru a minute, let's talk about enjoyment, because this engine, when the turbo kicks in and the acceleration really surges you onwards, it is a fantastic machine. It's a car that makes you work really hard. I mean, if you're not sweating, you're not working hard enough in this WRX STI. It's not a car that you can simply push a button and get the most out of. The Type R is an easier car to extract the performance from, and for some people, that's a pro. Some people don't want to have arm ache from shifting a really heavy shifter all day, and you know, they don't want to have to continuously be thinking about the perfect gear changes. However, to those real hardcore enthusiasts, and of which both camps have them obviously, the all-wheel drive in this, the fact you have to work really hard, the fact that not anyone can get into the car and get the most out of it is a real plus to them. But a really good example of how fast this Civic Type R is, particularly in its Plus R mode, is Auto Express recently put it up against a BMW M3. And around the circuit that they tested it on, this Civic was half a second faster. Under braking, the Type R is so much more immediate. It has less weight to slow down, so it has the Subaru under braking. I think it turns in, this car feels much more agile, particularly when you do shift the weight forward under braking. You just sort of tip it in, and the nose goes exactly where you want it, and the back end goes light, and it just tucks around, and the torque vectoring works fantastically on this car. When the conditions get adverse, things definitely play into the Subaru's hands. The all-wheel drive gives you so much confidence. And of course, if you take this car on any sort of loose surface, it just absolutely kicks ass. Like I said in a previous review of this car, ever since the death of the Evolution, there's just nothing like this car. It's just brilliantly capable. As for what car's more exciting to drive, for a one-day blast, it's the Subaru. It's got the drama, it's got the theatrics, it's got a freaking bonnet scoop and massive wing. Everyone looks at you. This one is blue with gold alloy wheels. I mean, it is an absolute childhood fantasy. It's got the performance when you want it. It's the more exciting car to drive. The Civic does feel a little bit more sterile in that respect. Whilst the Subaru offers that ultimate hair on the back of your neck experience from the moment you push the starter button, to live with day to day, by the end of my time with the Subaru, I sort of had a bit of a sore back, my ears were bleeding, and I'm sure the Subaru owners right now will be beating their chests saying, oh, well, that's what the car's for. Yes, but today, in 2015, you don't have to make such big sacrifices to go quickly. And that's what the Type R does so beautifully. It's the complete package. It offers the looks, it offers the performance, but at the same time, you can take it on a few hours journey down the motorway. You can go to the shops in it. And from a real world perspective as well, fuel economy does play a very big part. And this Civic Type R, we've been getting about 27 mpg combined this week. Whereas the Subaru, we were lucky if we got 22. So there you go. My money's on the Type R.